Hello you guys, hello again. Welcome into the Purple Penguin Crafter. I'm Vicky. Today's going to be kind of a fun craft. We're going to use part of a pool noodle. How fun is that? And it lights up. How cute. It's a frog. So I'm calling this, it's a light up. And so if you see, hey, it lights up. How cute is that? And these here are pool noodles. How cute, right? All right, stay tuned. I'll show you how I put this together. A supply list will be at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Please like, subscribe, share, and drop me a comment and say hi. Let me know you are watching. All right, you guys, let's get started. Our base first, we're going to go ahead and prep our base. I'm going to go ahead, I want to stain it. So we're going to go ahead and take that good old Waverly wax. And we're going to cover. This base is it's from like the woodpile section. It is like it says, what is it, 5x7. It's 5x7. It's a wood base. Obviously, I had this for another project. They don't usually come with a hole in them. I had this for another project, so just reusing this. Obviously, I didn't care for the other project I was doing because I took it apart, which happens. If you have a hard time getting in some of these beveled edges on some of this wood stuff, you can use a paintbrush to kind of get in there. I might actually take some twine and go around the trim of this towards the end, because I'm not sure if I really care for the beveled edge on some of these wood projects. This is kind of why I cut my own wood a lot of the times. You'll see me with my own wood that I cut. But I just wanted to show you guys, this is what they normally look like. So we did this because we used a damp baby wipe for smearing on the Waverly. It is going to be a little damp. So we're just going to kind of set that off to the side for a moment. Let's go ahead and prep our frog. And for this, we are just going to be using the frog portion of this project. So I'm going to go ahead and take off this welcome portion of it here. See if I can, oh, I'm going to have to cut that. Wire cutters here. Yeah, we'll save this. I like this welcome thing. We'll probably save that for another project. All right, so now he's got these little above the eye things, so we're gonna cut those off as well. These are just wire cutters. You can get wire cutters. Floral section at like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or Joann's, or you can get them at the hardware store. You can get them at Walmart. Wire cutters are usually pretty well available anywhere. Be careful. Parts may fly. Alright, and I like the frog. I'm not too crazy about this welcome part of it. I'm going to see if maybe I can cut that off. The wire cutters here. This is just really thin metal. We're going to paint this. So I'm just going to try and wiggle this off. Get away with getting this off here. May take some oomph. on, just keep on wiggling it. I do have tin snips. These are tin snips. You do have to get these. Well, you can get them at Walmart, or you can get them at the hardware store. Oh, that turned out great, because it also will take off these sharp edges here. There we go. So I got that off. Do be careful with sharp edges. Okay. So, like I said, it's okay. Maybe a little bit uneven, but I think he's cute no matter what. So let's go ahead and prep him. So I want to go ahead and paint him. I do like the color and stuff he is, but I want to go ahead and we'll do a little extra for him. So we're going to use a chalk paint. It is a matte finish. What color is this? Is Scallion. This is a Scallion green from Waverly. I got mine at Walmart for a decent price. However, this is just going to be the base coat. I am going to actually, we'll probably go back and use acrylic paint on top of this. But we'll use the chalk paint for its base coat, just because it makes it stick to the metal piece a little bit better. So we're going to give him a solid coat of this. We finished painting our frog. We're going to let that dry. More prep work here. We're going to take our base. Now, the frog is going to take up not even part of the base. So we need, behind the frog is going to be like his kind of where he's sitting kind of situation. We're going to take this pool noodle. This is one of the long ones. And this is just from the Dollar Tree. Pool noodle. It doesn't even say how long it is, but it's just one of the long ones. And we're gonna cut off sections of it to go back here. I think we do all three. If we do three, it will work. So the catch is too, we want this. It's gonna go, and it fits right in there. I love that. We want that to fit in there. And that's going to be our base to hold our lantern. I can't tell how far down this goes. I'm thinking it's going to be about here. I just have a paring knife, is all this is. It's just a paring knife. Any kind of foam knife would probably work just fine for this. Like I said, these are from the Dollar Tree. It's one of those solar powered lights. So it lights up inside. This one does have a butterfly in it, and for right now, I'm going to just leave the butterfly in it, but I can take him out. Take this off. This goes like this. These are actually for the yard. So if you take the bottom piece here, this is the stake part, so you can stick it in the yard. So it's a yard one, but we can take the stake out, put it in our floaty, and it can hold it like so. So that is absolutely perfect. Once we glue it down, it will hold it. As of right now, it's kind of questionable, but I think it'll be fine. So now we're going to do two more, and I'm think I want to do them roughly about the same, if not a little bit. This one, we'll do one of them a little bit larger. And we'll do this one the same. We do one the same and then one a little larger. Okay, so now I still have quite a bit of my pool noodle left. So, pool noodle for another project, for the most part. So these guys are going to go on like so. This guy's going to go right here. Now, the frog is going to sit. So I'm thinking I want the lantern on the side, but I may change my mind. We may put the lantern in the middle. I haven't quite decided on that portion of it, but the frog is going to sit up against these guys here. And then we're going to decorate around the frog and these as well. Now, obviously, I can't leave them like this. They look like pool noodles, right? They look like pool noodles. So, I'm going to try something I have not done before. We're going to take our air dry clay. This is the air dry clay. I got mine at Hobby Lobby when they were on sale. Watch for that because sometimes Hobby Lobby does put all the clay stuff on sale. Okay, so this does say it's modeling clay. You notice it does say modeling clay there. However, if you look it up online, it says it's air dry modeling clay is what it is. So you actually, if you leave it out, it actually will dry. Will take several hours. I recommend like at least a day probably. We're going to attempt to cover these, and then I want them to try and look like bark. I want these to look like trees. So we're going to attempt this. I don't need a lot on there, so I'm trying to do just a thin layer. First I want to just try and cover it first, and then we'll try and go through and put lines on it and make it look like clay. First I got to get it to cover the entire project here. A little bit of this clay goes a long way actually. I have noticed, and some I've seen some other crafters use this clay, and we've noticed that it doesn't crack as much, or I haven't noticed it crack at all on any of my projects that I've ever used it on, which is nice because there's some air dry, even some bake clay that once it dries it cracks on you or shrinks. There's that too. Said, I've never done this before with coating a piece of foam, or this is, like I said, this is a pool noodle, so I mean, but it's foam. I've never done this before, so see how this turns out, because it's not stiff. It does flex. So the clay, I don't know how well the clay is going to adapt to that. It kind of flexes clay a little bit here. And if it's not perfect, it's okay because, like I said, we're trying to make tree bark. So this will be okay if it's lumpy and bumpy and it doesn't look perfect. That's kind of the object of this game here. Okay, so I've got it all the way around. So it's all the way around on it. I just get it closer to the base here. And I kind of do want it to have a little bit of a rim. Like I said, I'm trying to make it look so it's not looking like a pool noodle when it's done. Okay, so I've got it going all the way around. We've got that far. Kind of smoothed out in my creases for the most part. And we've got a base, so it goes all the way to the base. The top is kind of wild and crazy. I kind of like that. But I do want it to kind of go all the way around here. Now on this one, this is going to be the one that we actually stick our lantern in. So I'm going to leave the hole. Now when I do the other two, we're going to do the exact same thing, except where it comes to the hole part, I'm going to cover that. So that it doesn't, so that the other two don't have holes in the middle of them. Just going to be this one. Because this is the only one that needs it. There we go. So I'm going to kind of use, this isn't a clay tool or anything. This is actually a beading tool that kind of helps get those holes in the beads. But I use it for whatever. I'm going to actually, I'm going to create the circle lines. Like as if this was like, if you cut a like part of a tree and you see the age lines, that's what I'm gonna do with this. Any clay that rises up, I'm just gonna kind of push it down. Okay, so I mean, it looks kind of weird right now. When we paint it, I think it will look better. If not, I'll just kind of redo it and we'll move on from there. All right, so now take my sides here, and I kind of want to do random lines and things. On my tree. I want them super deep, but I kind of want it so I'm just going to kind of do random things here. So I'm twisting, making it bigger and smaller. Making it totally just irregular, regular. Like I said, right now it kind of doesn't look like it's going to be much of anything, and it kind of looks weird, but trust the process. When we start painting it, it will be better. I'm going to use the back end here. Alright, so like I said, it doesn't look like much right now. It will look better once it dries and we paint it. Alright, so that looks pretty good. So we went from this to this. And it's going to sit here. Like I said, it's going to sit here. It will look more like a log piece of wood when we're done. Now we're just going to do the same thing on the other two. Now that our clay has dried, it looks a little bit better. So we're going to paint it now, and you will even say it will look even better when it's painted. So we're going to do a light brown underneath. So a honey brown. It's going to be a light brown. And we are going to try our very best to try and get in all of the crevices. Even if you don't coat the whole thing, it's fine, but make sure you try and get in all those crevices, because we're going to coat over this with a darker color, and that lighter color needs to be in the crevices. So we need, because I like to have my, when I do fake trees, I like to have the bark be the darker color, and then the lighter color will be the underneath part of the tree. Okay, so we got the light wood color on there, on all of our pieces. Now we're going to bring in this dark brown. This is a bark brown. That's kind of fitting for this project because we're going to use it as a bark color. So we're going to take, I'm going to take a messy, I don't know if I want to do a messy brush because I don't want to get into the crevices. So maybe you're not going to do a messy brush here. But you're going to do a big brush. I couldn't decide. We're going to do a big brush. And we're basically take our brown And we're going to try and not to go into the crevices. That is the point of this. Not to go into the crevices. Do a light coat because we want to just make it look like bark. Like so. Alright, does that make sense? So kind of keep your brush flat so it doesn't go into the crevices, because you want the crevices to stay a light brown. You get some in some of the crevices, it's okay. That's just, we'll say it's brown because of nature. Nature is not perfect. Then on our top, we want our top to stay the light brown too, because that's the inner. But I want a ring around the outside to kind of make it look more like the bark. So it gives it a darker outer ring to appear like the bark. That is absolutely perfect. So, perfect. Okay, so we've got our wood piece, our wood faux pieces drying. We're going to bring back in our frog. We did one coat on our frog. Now we're going to go and we're going to dress him up and do some more on him. So I kind of like the greenish color that he is, but I think I want him a little darker. So we're going to do this matte finish. This is classic green. Classic green. So it's just kind of a, I mean, it's not a bad green. It's actually kind of a nice green. And, but at the same time, I kind of like his belly to be that kind of limey kind of green. So we're just going to try and keep this just his outer pieces here. And we're kind of I think we're going to leave his belly. I'm going to try and leave his belly. And this is just going to be every other color other than his belly color. And then we're going to come back with an even darker green and give him some kind of like frog spots. And see how that works. So now our frog is their two-tone. I love that. I love this part by his eyes, so I'm going to leave that kind of a yellowy green. And then we're going to do the black for his eyes, because we want his eyes to stand out. I kind of like the indent for his mouth, but we're going to leave it, just that. I'm not going to highlight it with black or anything like that. We're just going to leave it. I like that. Okay, now we're going to just come in with a darker green. This is Christmas green. Christmas green, so it's just a much darker green. And And I want to kind of do his little spots. Dark green here. Might also kind of doesn't highlight where his leg is just a little bit here. I'm going to give him some more extra spots that he didn't have before. So why not? There we go. He's got some little extra spots going on. Kind of like that. That's super cute. Alright, from there, we're just going to leave it. From there, you know what? I've decided I am just going to leave him from there. We're going to start assembly. We're going to start assembly. So we're going to take our frog. We're just going to move him off to the side for a little bit here. We're going to bring back in our base. We know our frog is going to be here. Because we want him to be kind of front and center a little bit, but we want our log pieces to be in the back here because we got to put our light on them. So these guys got to go back here, and hopefully stays together. Okay, so we got our three little logs back here. We are going to take our lantern piece. It does fit. I'm pretty sure it's going to fit right in there. Decide how deep we want it to go. I'll show you that. All right. So now we're gonna take this little lantern piece off for just a minute. We're gonna lay this down so we can put our frog. I want our frog to be right up against, but not totally right up against them. So I think what we're gonna do is put some Jenga blocks here. Kind of help. I think that's going to help put him further away. So that's going to help right there. Help further out. So I had to switch my angle a little bit so that you can see it's a pretty good sized project. But he looks really cute. he's up against the wood, but not too much up against it. You can see. Got that Jenga block in there. Now, I do want to go ahead, this is his light, and it goes right inside here. Looks great. It turns on. The butterfly actually works out great because, you know, he's kind of in a marshy land and there could be butterflies. So we're going to leave that. But it turns on. You can see it. Cute, right? All right. So, but I kind of want to add a little bit to it. So we're going to do some twine. I'm going to put some twine on this. This is just that Walmart twine that I get. Absolutely love it. Comes in a ball, but once it gets to the end of your ball, it kind of comes apart a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and wrap around our base. We're just going to kind of get it started. Go down. I'm going to go down to about there and stop. So we're just going to cut it off a little bit there. End it like right there. Now, I kind of want to wrap the top, but I think we'll leave that for now. I may wrap it at another time. But move this back in there. And you can decide how tall or how small you want it. Now, I've got these mushrooms I got from Dollar Tree, 2023 when I got these, and I just got them, but I hadn't decided what I'm going to do with them. And I was kind of thinking of putting it in this project right here, because why not? Seems like a fun idea. Just going to put this big mushroom right here. How fun is that? Mushroom. And then I got some baby mushrooms, but I think I also have rocks. I'm going to bring in some rocks and just kind of put some rocks around in here. I can base. So we're going to add a little bit of details here, but not go too crazy. The last thing I want to do is some reindeer moss. I got some reindeer moss. This was from the Dollar Tree. Definitely the kind of moss you're going to find. Kind of swampy area a little bit. I might put a little bit up here. I wasn't going to. I'm going to stick some rocks in here in front of him. voila. He is all done. How cute is that? Alright, you guys. This light turns on. You can see it's kind of reflecting off of the butterfly there when it turns dark. Alright, you guys, keep coming back for some more crafts at Purple Penguin Craft Room. Happy crafting!